Greetings, humanity. I am Jim, and I am playing Torment Tides of Numenera. It is Friday, so we're doing this again. There is a chance I may actually, partway through this, receive a phone call that I will have to take. So, just heads up about that. Also, Fridays have been a little busier than usual, so I have to figure out if I want to keep doing this on Fridays or if I want to switch it up to another day. Just because of the jumble of stuff. So, you know, figuring that out. It's stuff that would probably be less of a jumble were it not for the wonders of ADHD, but, you know, here is where we are. This is the world in which we must live. So, that is the thing that we must sort out. In the meantime, I guess we're going back to the Bloom and figuring out what the heck we're gonna do with the Memovira now, because I feel as though we have an interesting confrontation ahead. So we're going to hit continue. Applying effort on attacks is critical to success in crises, but be careful not to drain your pools too quickly. I don't really feel too much of an urge to attack the mobile threshing machine person that is over here, so I think we'll probably be okay not getting this one morsel of content that happens. At least I hope that's the case. Just because I just don't feel like fighting him. I just don't. I do feel like fighting this guy, but we'll have to see how that goes. If that goes. Where are we? Everyone else is well rested except me, because I died for a little while. There was some stuff I was trying to figure out what to do with. Yes? Yes. Okay. I'm down a little bit of might and a little bit of intellect. Everything else seems okay. It would be nice to rest before anything else happens, but we'll see. I'm going to check just in case there's anything else we can do. I suppose there is this thing about, you know, the idea that attacking this person is going to harm others. I think that does come up. But it seems strictly a voluntary thing. He doesn't seem to attack anyone who's not ready for it. I don't know. It's that one's hard to figure out. Let me see what happens over here. Four wretches trying to distinguish clients who use them to open maws. To be precise, my clients feed them to a maw, and if its hunger is satisfied, the maw opens. Can't believe the slave would volunteer to be eaten. From their point of view, they're choosing life between life in the dungeons, or worse, execution, and a chance at redemption. Oh, I know it's a roll of proverbial dice, but a maw won't always kill you. Oh, great. He's just going to repeat the same stuff over and over. As I said, you ask around. Some of these destitute folks have been here for a long time. They know what the local mall wants. They claim to hear the voice of the Bloom. The little man chuckles. Yeah, I guess that there's not really... Yeah, there are no options here to attack or anything like that. So there's that's a thing. One minor detail I should once again mention, as you may note the content warning on the screen. This game contains biological and body horror, identity crisis, slavery, death, assault, and drug use. So please keep that in mind should you wish to watch it. It's absolutely no problem for anyone who needs to turn away when we hit any of that content, or even before if you don't want to worry about encountering it. It's perfectly fine. Just consider your friend, so keep out of the Memovira's way. She's in a bad mood lately. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, there's not really a lot we can do with respect to all that then. So, yeah, that's that. Okay, and I think we already talked to Dracogen before on anything. I think I'm pretty much finished trying to drain as much of the material, trying to suck the marrow out of the material of this game. So I think that we're just going to sleep, get back our few lost points, and then we're going to go and deal with the Memovira. I am not quite at my cipher limit, almost. Might want to use one of these things soon. I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out.
I'll handle it.
Alright. Should I save one more time before we go in, just for the sake of time? I mean, we didn't do a lot. But sure, of course. Because, you know, there's a lot that could be going on right here. Okay. Another report of moths shifting? Okay. Massoff. I mean, Ishin should have found his way back by now. Is he safe? Is that a deliberate manipulation? So the story was true. She looks you up and down with new admiration. I admit I didn't expect to see either of you alive again. Yeah, he's safe, and the Memovira is expecting you. She'll see you whenever you're ready. Oh boy. She gives a surreptitious glance at the other guard and says to you in a low tone, "You should know the Memovira seemed angry that you succeeded." She shakes her head. I don't understand it either, but I've seen her like this before. My advice? Take care of any unfinished business you have before you go to see her. That's assuming you have to see her, of course. I think we're good. I can't think of anything else we need to do at this point in this place, so here we go. She nods. Follow me. Talk to your companions frequently. They can yield interesting ideas or a new perspective on an objective, and you can learn more about them and their backstories. I think we spent last time just looking at everything we possibly could. So the hero returns. Oh yeah, that's right. Here, this is the first, in fact. The Memovira's gaze is strong and unflinching, though her face is lined and stress marks her mouth. Impressive, she says, though her words are clipped. Even with everything I'd heard you had done, I did not actually think you would succeed. I underestimated him twice now. It will not happen again. I did everything I could to honor our deal. Now tell me the truth about the first cast-off. You lied to me. You're the first. What is your plan for the resonance chamber? Why did you send me if you thought I wouldn't succeed? I think we're gonna go with this one. She smirks. An interesting question, one that deserves an answer. She raises her chin high, some kind of energy shimmers across her body. I am the first cast-off. I've kept myself hidden for a century and more, watching, waiting, letting our damned sire execute his twisted plans, thinking he had the upper hand. But we have plans of our own. Ah! Tash. Suddenly, several familiar cast-offs rematerialize out of nowhere. You can't place all of their faces, but you immediately recognize Paj Reckon. The trim figure of Bericael is also among them. Yes. Do I remember any of these people? No, not really. It's been too long. I'm not sure which. I know that the names are slightly familiar. I'm sure I've met and talked to them at length before. I just can't remember entirely where, whether it was at Mila Vest or at a different place earlier when I met maybe one or two other cast-offs. I'm not sure. Anyway, here we go. Our sire thought to use the resonance chamber to subsume us, but I have learned it can stop the sorrow in another way. It is the door to our freedom, and you have returned to me my key. Then the Memovira, the first, makes a sweeping gesture toward Massoff behind her. Yes? Oh dear. What, you didn't bring it here, did you? No, that's not the resonance chamber. That's just a big crystal, yes? No, that is the resonance chamber. Okay. As you can see, my agents have retrieved the resonance chamber from the reef. With Massoff returned, we can use the chamber to sever the tidal connection that draws the sorrow to us like a war moth. Then we will be free forever, from the sorrow, from having to hide in Milavest or this wretched bloom, from all of our sire's stratagems. We will finally be ourselves. You didn't notice while the first was speaking, but Makina's eyes are staring at one of the first companions. She actually looks frightened. If it's at all possible, she looks paler than normal. Tash. Impossible. Has my mind failed me again? Now that she says his name, it's obvious. This is the man whose body you inhabited in Matkina's Mirrorcaster so long ago. His only reply is a leering grin. I forgot to go into the other mirror. Damn it! There's content I didn't look at. There's content I did not look at. There was a mirror that I didn't go into. I wasn't thinking. I have to decide if I want to do that or not. I don't know. We might not have the ability to do anything else at this point. Well, we'll see. You're dead. I killed you. Her brow furrows. Didn't I? That's certainly what you remember. His unpleasant grin widens. Our freedom is finally at hand, thanks to you. She laughs to herself softly, as though to some inside joke. I've no doubt you have questions. From what I hear, you always have questions. You may ask them while Massoff finishes his work. Ironic that the one he meant to snuff us out is now our savior. Maybe I won't have to kill him. Why would you have to kill me? We need to talk about the chamber. How was Massoff taken from you? How long have you been hiding here? Your plan will kill the castoffs. I won't let that happen. I have no more questions. Activate the chamber and stop the sorrow. We need to talk about the chamber. Of course we do, returns patronizing. Very well, what do you want to know? What can't your curiosity live without? I thought my body was the catalyst to the chamber. I've learned that in activating the chamber, it can be used to weaken the sorrow. Is that true? Your plan will kill the castoffs, not free them. We need the connection in order to live. Is there any other way to stop the sorrow? Let me ask this one first and see if it lets me do the other one. She looks to Massoff. You can't read the man's expression, but the first says, perhaps. But what would that accomplish? The sorrow has been weakened many times, yet it does not die. I will not risk our lives like that. Severing the tidal connections between us is our only hope of stopping the sorrow and surviving. Is there any other way to stop the sorrow? There's one other way, she chuckles darkly. Our sire's way, suck every living castoff back into a single body. But what good is that? No. The only way to stop the sorrow is to remove what it seeks. It hunts us because our bodies abuse the tides. In severing the connection, that abuse will end, she scoffs. Our sire didn't know what he was doing when he made our bodies. The sorrow is the consequence, but I will undo his mistakes. I thought my body was the catalyst of the chamber. It is. The changing god created your body specifically to activate the chamber, to channel its powers. We discovered you had become a castoff when you spoke to Massoff through Zirian Daywalker. Your body was designed to control the tidal connection between us. Her voice lowers, but of course our sire doesn't want to sever that connection. He wants to use it to draw all castoffs back into himself, snuffing us out. She lowers her chin menacingly. I won't let that happen. So Massoff has reconfigured the chamber to work with any castoff. Can my body still activate the chamber, then? Of course it can. Massoff has repaired the machine, not broken it further. Her voice gains a sharp edge to it, but rest assured, if you go anywhere near that chamber, I will kill you myself. Your plan will kill the castoffs, not free them. Yeah, I think this is the time. We need the connection in order to live. She scoffs. What ridiculous conjecture. Where did you hear that? A memory of our sire, when I found Massoff. Our sire learned it from a giver castoff named Thom. Thom said both our sire's plans and yours would kill us all. The changing god told me himself. It's none of your business where I heard it. How much do we want to tell her? A memory of our sire learned it. Okay, we can try this one. I think going with information is probably helpful. We'll see. Thom. She stares at you for several moments, then finally she said it. No, Thom is mistaken. What could he know about the details of my plan? Could Thom have... No, it's a lie. Thom doesn't know half of what I do about the labyrinth. The sorrow tracks us with the tides, and severing the tidal connection between us. The labyrinth, our sire called it. We will no longer... And severing the tidal connection between us, the labyrinth... Wait a minute. You're severing a thing that's in my head. We will no longer be connected to the tides. We will no longer abuse them, and the sorrow will stop its hunt. We will be free. It must be done. I guess we got something else, of course, you do ask them now before Massoff has completed the chamber's activation. Yeah, why would you have to kill me? I want to activate the chamber, merging all cast-off consciousnesses into myself. Let's not do that. Why would you have to kill me? She cocks her head to the side. How do you... You are more clever than my information suggests, though perhaps not if you have not yet divined why I would have to kill you. She sets her shoulders strong. You are his key, the catalyst he created to activate the chamber. He would use it to subsume us all into himself, to kill us, do you understand? I've been trying to stop that from happening ever since I learned what our sire's true plans were. Then when you spoke to Massoff in Osfagan, using poor Zarian's body, I knew he was close. I knew where you would appear, but not when. I've been watching Milavest ever since, waiting for you. She crosses her arms. When you escaped the sanctuary, I panicked. Years of planning undone. But then you came here, to me. The trip to the heart was a fool's errand. You know. Whether you succeeded or not, I would have what I need. Either you'd be dead, and our sire's plans with you, or else I'd have Massoff back to enact my own plans, and our sire's plans would no longer matter. How was Massoff taken from you? Her voice grows hard. The bloom turned on me without warning, or perhaps there were signs I missed. It devoured a large chunk of the fortress. And Massoff's workshop with it. I have endeavored to keep it out ever since, but it was too late. Massoff was gone. He's lucky it was me the bloom wanted, else he would have been devoured immediately. We should use the chamber to weaken the sorrow. We might be able to kill it. Your plan will kill the castoffs. I won't let that happen. Yeah, I feel like saying this is going to just cause a fight. But I mean, we're having a fight no matter what. Activate the chamber and stop the sorrow. I feel like this is a death option, because if you sever the labyrinth, then that might do a number of things. They don't know what that's going to do. The labyrinth is containing a lot of stuff right now that we've been collecting for a while. And I don't like the idea of a lot of that stuff becoming unleashed, you know? So I guess we'll try this. Weaken the sorrow. Her voice cuts with a sharp edge. Are you a fool? The sorrow cannot be killed. You, however, can, which you'll discover if you try to get anywhere near that chamber. The only reason you're alive at all is because I'm optimistic. I hope you're smarter than that. How long have you been hiding here? She shrugs. A decade more? I rescued myself from the Gibra after our sire abandoned him. The bloom's hatred of the sorrow and its power to keep it at bay was known to me, so we came here in disguise. But you betrayed the old Memovira. Why take over if you only came here to hide? He was weak, and I needed his resources. I had to find the resonance chamber before our sire could activate it. She chuckles. Controlling the power of the bloom was a nice bonus. Now the bloom is turned against me, though, but it won't matter soon. Why didn't you just tell me you were the first from the beginning? Yeah, let's do that. She crosses her arms. Frankly, I don't trust you. There are certain voices in your head. I can't know what side you're really on, so it was safer to use you instead. I mean, that's fair. Voices in my head? What are you talking about? We know. We know. I can't tell if you're being coy or stupid. I can't tell either, really. She stares at you a moment. I've known the changing god was in your mind since you spoke to Massoff and Ossiphagan. I was there. I am the Chimera. Or Chimera. Or Chimera. Depending on which side of the room you're standing. With the changing god alive, all my plans and all our lives were in jeopardy. Rest assured, I will do anything to stop him. Oh, boy. Yeah, I think, given the balance of things and the fact we've been able to read the thoughts that have been playing out, that the first cast-off is not entirely sure. Not completely sure. I think we're going to have to go with this. Which sucks, but there it is. I wonder if I shouldn't have mentioned Tom. I wonder if I should have just said it was a memory. Oh well. Try and stop me. I was always going to have to kill you anyway. Wait, let me think about it first. Go ahead and try. I feel like there's a version of this where you can convince them to help you fight the sorrow. This is going to be dangerous. I don't know what's going to happen. This is it's a good point, because, I mean... Okay, well, if it comes down to it... Trying to shatter the labyrinth, I don't know if that's a great idea. I mean... Slaying everybody, probably not a brilliant move. Okay. I kind of want to see what happens if they do it. Alright. Let me think about it first. There's nothing to think about, fool. In a matter of moments, Massoff will have the chamber activated and it will be over. But fine, she was then dismissively. Think. Is there anything under here that we need? I can, my way? Is there any other way? Stop abusing the tides, either by serving our tides or by absorbing us into a single body and mind. Neither of those are good options. Alright, no, go ahead. Let's see what happens. This might be a death option, I'm not sure. It'd be foolish to do anything else. Come, brothers and sisters, our freedom awaits. Indigo Tide raised a small amount. Okay. I got XP for it. Resonant power. I get the feeling this is not going to go well. Survive the Sorrow's attack long enough for... Wait. The entire fortress... Wait, what? The entire fortress shakes, dust and stones falling from the ceiling above. What was that? The first sniffs the air, her body glowing with new power from the resonance chamber. The Sorrow, it's here, but too soon! The resonance chamber hasn't finished its activation cycle! There we go. She readjusts her grip on the hilt of her blade. We'll have to face our enemy. Take heart! We need only survive a few more minutes before we are forever free! As she turns to fight, you notice the resonance chamber's console is still functional. Perhaps there's still a chance to redirect its power before it is fully charged. Oh, this is everything I'd hoped it'd be. Oh, you're the first. Okay. Survive the Sorrow's attack long enough for the resonance chamber to charge. Tash's turn. Eratus's turn. I mean, yeah, sure. You wanna go beat the crap out of some Sorrowlings? That'd be great. First Castoff. Tash. Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of these. Bericael, Brunna, Paj Reckon, Sarah Fragment, I'm over here. Matt Keena's over here. Zarian Daywalker, Sarah Fragment, Massoff the Lost. Okay. Yeah, I do worry what's going to happen locationally. But I mean, you know, okay, yeah, we're just gonna send, yeah, go ahead and, yeah, you can fight the Sorrow Fragment. Tiber. I feel like we want Tiber to hang out nearby. Either that or we want Matkina to hang out nearby. Tiber can't get very far. We'll put you there. These things always go for where Tiber is. I should just use Tiber in that way. Just move him to somewhere that I want these things to show up. Because they're always... It's like catnip to them. What was the deal with that control panel we were talking about? There's a... Perhaps everyone's distracted right now, and I can use this control panel. Oh, goodness, no. That would be the worst possible thing. No, I don't want to make, you know, I don't want to redirect the energies to myself. That's a horrible idea. Instead, we're just going to, yeah, yeah.
I'm going.
So guarding the resonance chamber might be a good idea.
I'll handle it.
What are you doing? We're not sure what you're doing.
This is no time for jokes.
Okay, there's like a bunch of fire here now. Tiber, yeah, Tiber I think is going, there's a lot of fire there now. Wait, what happened? What happened to Eratus? Eratus just got knocked, oh my god. That's not good. That's not good at all. We just lost Eratus. This was a terrible idea. To fight these things directly like that, that's... No. We should have used the hook. We just got him killed. This is going terribly. Yeah, so... I suspect we want to back up and not do this way. Also... Yeah, no running into the fire. That's not good. We have a hook. And also, to be fair, there have been a lot of area attacks that they just sort of did, and I think that also did Eratus in. Not, yeah. Let me see if there's... Do I have anything? Let me figure something out here. Target self. I gotta find something that I can use to, do I have anything that can heal? I have plenty of things that do damage. We should have used the hook to grab Eratus. Where is Eratus now? We can't even see him. He's out of the order. I am very dissatisfied with their, with there being like death here. We don't have time to settle for that. We're going to reconsider this strategy. We're going to go back and try to not get him killed. Because that's, yeah, just looking at that, there's so much. We're gonna sort of step back from that just a bit. We'll try this again in a little bit. But that, yeah, that was not good. Now, coincidentally, now that we're here, that does give me an opportunity to do something. So I'm pretty sure we haven't used this one yet. So we'll go ahead and do that. The urge to explore the mirror within is as palpable as thirst. Feel clicking aware of countless mechanisms moving beneath your hands. Inspect the mirror caster. The clicking of the mechanisms with the device is a rhythmic thing, like a drum beat, like soldiers marching in perfect, helpless unison. Oh, that's great. Alright. Because we never did this, and so we're going to go ahead and do this first real quick. As your consciousness coalesces, you find yourself in an underground bunker, which is shaking from an attack far above. You stand mid-salute in front of a castoff encased in an articulated metal carapace. He's so skeletal you doubt he could move without it. You remember his name is Lovak, Pajrakan's second-in-command in the endless battle. 3 advisors sit behind him. Lovak shakes his synth-encased head and addresses you. Don't worry about the message, Bericael. It's been rendered moot. Bericael's in there. That's good to know. It's been rendered moot. We're just lucky Commander Reckon made it out of Memovira alive. She missed the destruction of the sanctuary by moments. A thunderous explosion rocks the bunker, sending everyone staggering. I guess this is back during the endless battle? As you can see, we have troubles of our own, Lovak says, getting back to his feet. The changing god's latest ploy has paralyzed the reconciler of truth. Of course, Heaven's rejoinder remains functioning, which means we cannot reverse their successes while they can reverse ours. Heaven's rejoinder? What are these strange words? Heaven's rejoinder, reconciler of truth. He leads you to a strategy table showing a 3-dimensional projection of a battlefield across parallel realities. Okay. Yeah, let's just drop that. Sure. All of them show your army on the verge of defeat. Maybe these are projections of what they're looking as a thing that may happen in the near future. He shakes his head. We are in more danger now of losing this war than since the first died. The first did not die. I'm afraid I must send you out again, Bericael. We must save the reconciler. We must save the reconciler. How did the massacre at Memovira happen? How did the shields come down? What a reconciler of truth and Heaven's rejoinder. I am ready to serve. I am happy to do what you need, so long as there's opportunity for glory. I've heard enough. Just give me a chance to get vengeance for all this. I really want to ask these questions. I don't know if it's going to cause too much suspicion if I do. Livik laughs. Again, eh? I suppose one of the hazards of dancing so often through realities and times is that it plays hell with memory. Not to worry, I'll explain it once more. Oh, good, we have an excuse. Centuries ago, when the First lived, she found the Reconciler, a machine of the ancients, which allowed the user to look at multiple versions of a recent event and lock reality onto the one they liked best. Wait, what? Making it the only reality. With it, she began choosing realities in which we had won more battles than we had lost, and quickly drove the changing god to the brink of defeat, until, that is, he acquired his own machine, Heaven's Rejoinder, which can undo the Reconciler's realities and make its own. Yes, let's casually play with the fabric of the universe. Since then, our war has become one of feint and counterfeint, of competing and collapsing realities, where no battle is ever entirely won or completely lost, and where both sides look always for a final advantage. He sighs and looks at the table, where, one by one, the multiple battlefields are beginning to wink out, narrowing down to one, and it seems as if the Chalcedon, the changing god's general, may have found his advantage at last. With the Rejoinder sabotaged and Heaven's Rejoinder with the Reconciler's gotta get the terms right. With the Reconciler sabotaged and Heaven's Rejoinder well defended, we may never turn the tide. How did the massacre at Memovira massacre? The massacre at Memovira massacre. The Department of Redundancy Department happen. How did the shields come down? I don't know. Maybe the sorrow finally grew strong enough to smash through. Maybe there was a traitor. I have heard nothing. Ready to serve. Happy to do so that there's glory. Happy heard enough. Just give me a chance for vengeance. We'll just say I'm ready to serve. Let's keep it low-key. Excellent, says Lovak and returns to his advisors. All castoffs, you notice. Friends, what are your suggestions? How do we undo what has been done to the Reconciler without using the Reconciler? A scarred female castoff in red armor speaks up. I recommend an all-out assault on the position of Heaven's Rejoinder. This will, of course, fail, but it will give cover for Bericael to slip through the paths of the white nests and reach the Rejoinder from behind. There she can reset it, then destroy it. She pounds the table. Then we will be the only side who can change history. A male mutant, exquisitely beautiful except for the second mouth in his throat, speaks in melodious harmony. I can't do that. I'm just going to read it. I suggest Bericael use the reality storm that ravages no man's land to find the Reconciler saboteur. If she can navigate the shifting shards, she can stop the saboteur before he reaches it. Okay. Notice a lot of people are volunteering me for this job. He shrugs. This will only return us to the status quo, of course, but it will be easier for Bericael to deal with one man than the deadly white nests. Makes sense. Any other suggestions? Asks Lovak. When there is no answer, he turns to you. I approve of either path. As it is you who will face these challenges, I leave it to you which you will choose. What do you say? Tell me more about the White Nest. Tell me more about the reality storm. I will make my way through the White Nests while the army assaults Heaven's Rejoinder. I will find the saboteur before he breaks the Reconciler, no matter what time or reality he does it in. Huh. Tell me more about these White Nests. The White Nests, says Lovak, are the catacombs where the Chalcedon breeds his Stratharian war moths. Stratharian war moths. A horrible place. I don't know what the tunnels were originally used for, but now they are a tangled mess of webs and larvae. It's filled with traps since the enemy knows the tunnels are a vulnerable approach. But the real danger is the moths themselves. Horrible creatures whose phosphorescent glow withers the flesh and maddens the mind. He shivers. Once they sense your presence, they will not rest until you are dead. It won't be an easy approach by any means. Tell me about the reality storm. Lovak shakes his head. We and the changing god have used the Reconciler of Truth and Heaven's Rejoinder so often, and at such cross purposes, that there are places in the no man's land between our front lines where no single reality holds sway. Fractured ripples of possibility drift across the field like squalls of rain, changing all in their path and offering entry into other times and versions of the present. And of course, once one enters a different version of reality, then all the shards one encounters in that reality are different too. He pales. It's the less deadly route, but it's still possible to be lost forever in such a maze. And the messed up thing is you can go back. This actually lets you change time. And I begin to understand why. This is nuts. I'm more for option 2, so that we don't change too much. Because it's like going back and changing reality as they're going back and changing realities. It's sort of like... It's like trying to see the top of your own head. We'll try option 2. Wow. Lovak nods, then looks at the others. Any objections to Bericael's choice? I approve, says the castoff with two mouths. It can be done quickly, and the risk is low. And if Bericael is lost, says the castoff in red armor, we can try the assault I suggested with someone else running through the white nests. Very well, says Lovak, standing. Bericael, these are the gloves of the saboteur. You'll use these, their scent and their tides, to navigate the shards and find your man. Look at that! Under heavy guard and with force shields and temporal randomizers in place. Temporal randomizers in place! Lovak is... Let's just immediately... I just love that, you know, these other mirror casters that we've used to get into these other mirrors that we've been in have been fairly straightforward. Just basic stuff as far... I mean, a lot of very weird and interesting stuff, and we learn a lot of things. But this one, we dive in, and it goes gonzo from the very beginning. I love it. Okay. Under heavy guard, and with force shields and temporal randomizers in place, Lovak escorts you to the edge of no man's land. It is scarred with trenches and thick with roiling smoke, but more unnerving are the drifting shards of time and reality that cross it like summer storms. In one great armies move, in another towering constructs with glowing eyes burn the homes of fleeing villagers. And on and on. Lovak points ahead. There, somewhere, is your path. Use your instincts to hunt this villain down, but take care. Too many jumps and you will enter realities where the storm is fading and the shards closing. You could be trapped in a distant reality with no way back. You thank Lovak and then walk toward the storm of shards, holding the saboteur's gloves in one hand. This is going to go so well. Strange as it seems, the scheme seems to be working. Some of the shards do not have the right smell at all, and you are able to discount them entirely. Some are harder to decide upon, but eventually you're able to narrow it down to 3. A moonlit lake, a canyon full of glancing sun and flitting shapes, and a storm of swirling chaos. So, like, the one that they describe best is the one that they want you to go to, right? We're looking for the saboteur. Well, see, here's the thing. If you think, yeah, so much chaos. Here's the thing, though. If you think about it, there are a couple of ways to do this. You know, were I an assassin, right? If were I a saboteur, where would I hide? Actually, any of these could work, because it's true, there's sun in the canyon, but there are a bunch of swirling, flitting shapes. You can hide in a storm of swirling chaos, possibly, unless the chaos itself destroys you, in which case, no. A moonlit lake would be a good place to hide. Except that it's lit, albeit by the moon. It depends on if there's anything else out there. I mean, actually, are there a lot of places to hide in a lake? There's really one place you can hide when you're in a lake, and that's in the lake. I'm doing the canyon. You stand at the edge of a sunlit canyon watching an aerial battle between naked men and women strapped into wooden cloth glide wings. Should I be writing any of this down? Any of, like, which one we do first? Who knows? This is reminding me a little bit of... There was... Oh, yes, you're here. You'll appreciate this. There was a computer game ages ago. It was a computer adventure game done by Tellarium as an adaptation of the first couple of books in the Amber series by Roger Zelazny. The computer game was called Nine Princes in Amber after the first book. And there was this, like, insane labyrinth of choices that they wrote. They wrote, like... it's like each passage is a novella that you that you come upon, and you can go down all these different paths. It was actually quite cool, but at the same time, also frustrating. It's a text adventure game with pictures. This is starting to remind me a little bit of that, the way that things branched in that game. So like we had lake, and we had canyon, and we had chaos, and I chose the canyon, and now we have forest, and I should probably actually read this first before I write these down. Will I break the order of things? Will the universe itself come unglued? I don't know. You stand at the edge of a sunlit canyon watching an aerial battle between naked men and women strapped into wooden cloth glide wings. Sure, why not? Half of the wings bear the colors of the changing god, the other half bear the first's. Okay? The flyers slash at each other with long razored poles, trying to tear fabric and flesh, and every now and then a wing goes spiraling down into the canyon. You see the shard storm swirling on a mesa in the middle of the canyon and race for the bridge that leads to it. Okay. 3 shards feel promising. A dense forest at night, rolling farmland in the setting sun, and a muddy battlefield in the rain. I think we're going to go for the battlefield this time. As again, if we're trying to track someone who wants to avoid being tracked, a muddy battlefield in the rain is probably a good place for it. Dark forest being a close second. On a muddy battlefield, battered with rain and littered with bodies and broken mantis war constructs, the Chalcedon stands with the rest of his command as Paj Reckon and her generals kneel before him, and she offers him her sword. All around the scene, the Chalcedon soldiers are leading away Paj's surviving troops, both cast-off and human. There aren't many left. Most are dead on the field and being picked over by Murden corpse thieves. Beyond them, you can just see the reality storm's shifting ripples. You hurry through the rain toward them, and as you get close, 3 of them seem better than the others. A glimmering swamp, a plain of giant bonfires, and a frantic battle. Okay. So... I think the one that'll be easiest terrain-wise is the battle. If we do another battle. We're going to try the battle. A chaotic battle churns around you. Soldiers in the colors of the changing god fight soldiers in the colors of the first with swords, sonic lance, and slug spitter. A lancer falls dead before you, shot through the heart, and you stare as you see that she has your face. Oh dear. You look up to see who killed her, and discover that her murderer also has your face. And she isn't the only one. Every single soldier on both sides of the battle looks exactly like you. I feel as though something has gone terribly wrong. You race toward the reality storm, fighting Bericaels from both sides as they try to kill you. Finally you reach it, but only the shard you left matches the scent of the gloves. You dive back into the muddy battlefield to try again. Take a look at where you are again. Muddy battlefield, battered with war constructs, Chalcedon soldiers are leading around fighting the surviving troops. And then you can just see reality storm shifting ripples. Okay, so that's just going to loop back up here. We're going to go to the swamp. It is night. You're hip deep in the stinking swamp, watching hideously mutated primitives flee through a maze of reeds and drooping trees, as soldiers in the colors of the first stalk them, firing beam weapons. You back into the shadows as two of the soldiers pass your position, and you see that they are not human. Though they walk upright on their hind legs and have paws with opposable thumbs, they are Seski hounds, somehow evolved into humanoid shape. Wow. Okay. As the hunt vanishes again into the night, you see the shimmer of the reality storm through the trees, and approaching it you find that 3 of the shards seem more likely than the rest. A gloomy battlefield, an arena full of roaring crowds, and a maze of grimy gray streets. The streets, I think, are going to be more promising here. Battlefield. There are several battlefields here. I don't know if writing any of this down will help. Or if I'll be able to read this and interpret it properly later. Who knows? We're taking the streets. You're on a grimy street in a city of gray brick. Plastered on every wall are posters of the Changing God looking noble with underneath the motto, Unchanging! A group of armored police march past. The people cringe back from them. You step into an alley and find yourself among a ragtag gang in the colors of the first, who watch the police, then charge out behind them with makeshift weapons. You retreat from the ensuing melee and seek the reality storm. You find it in a bombed-out block, behind a razor wire fence. Slashing through, you approach, but only one shard matches the scent of the gloves, the one you just left. You step back into the glimmering swamp to try again! Okay, that didn't work out. We'll go back to the next battlefield. A train of transport sleds glides to a stop on a desolate battlefield, and Paj Reckon steps out with her command and looks around. As far as the eye can see, the field is covered in corpses, both outcast and human, burned to sticks inside their uniforms. There are no living troops at all. The only movement is the roiling smoke that rises from the broken hulks of shattered war machines. Paj chokes to see it all. Is this what victory looks like? She asks, then hangs her head. What have we done? What have we done? Off to the west, half hidden in a gray haze, the reality storm turns. You edge from view and scurry toward it, and as you near it, you see, looming within a shard, the massive form of the Reconciler of Truth. Without hesitation, you leap through. That's the one. Ah! Landing near the Reconciler, you see none of the guards who usually protect it, nor the walls or doors that shield it. In fact, it isn't in its chamber at all. Instead, it seems to be in some sort of bubble outside time and space. You circle it and find, crouching by the far side of it, a wiry man in dark armor, focused on cutting through its metal skin. You recognize him as Xeranth, one of the Chalcedon's wiliest operatives, whom Bericael has tangled with more than once. As you creep up on him, he whips around, alarmed. He throws his hands in front of him, pleading. Brana! He gasps. Wait, hear me out! I have information you need to know! Kill! 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 Tell me. You know that the sorrow has destroyed Mila Vest, yes? Well, know that it was your commander, Paj Reckon, who dropped the compound's shields and allowed it to enter. This is why she was there and how she escaped in time. It's funny, they didn't really want to talk much about how that happened, did they? He snarls, overcome. Mielavest has always been a place of peace. Paj broke that truce. So many of our brothers and sisters dead. More than ever died in this foolish war. He looks you in the eye. I know you will be an honorable opponent, Brenna, but your leader is savage and insane. If you care for the future of the castoffs, go back to her and confront her. Stop her from killing any more of us. We did see a reality where she went overboard. Go and I will consider it otherwise. Yeah. You think I'm going to fight Bericael the Living Blade? I am no fool. He bows and steps away from the reconciler, then turns and dives through a reality shard and is gone. Okay, well maybe we stopped him. As he leaves, the bubble around the machine fades and returns to its proper place and time. You turn to the shards to do the same. You retrace your steps through the reality storm and return to Lovak's bunker. He greets you with open arms and a smile. Success, my friend. Whatever you did, the reconciler is operational once again, and we have recovered our recent losses. I have told Paj Reckon of your heroism, and she wants to thank you personally. Go to her now. She is in the bloom, meeting with the Memovira. I believe she has more work for you there. Zarenth told me Commander Reckon was the one who turned off Mielavest's shields, allowing the Sorrow to kill our siblings. Thank you, sir. I'll head to the bloom now. Who do we bring this up with? I feel as though Bericael would probably go ahead and mention this now. Novak scowls. Lies, most likely, meant to turn you against our commander. I would not speak this foolishness to her when you see her. It will lower her opinion of you. Now go. Thank you, sir. I'll head to the bloom now. I do not wish to go. I want to continue to serve you. Yeah, okay, we'll go. Thank you, says Lovak. My regards to the commander. With a bow, you leave the bunker and make your way to the Z-Drake Roost. Or She-Drake Roost. Place with the flying things, I would assume. There you mount the drake the grooms have saddled for you and fly towards Sega's cliffs. When you reach it, you bank down into its shadow and the land near the living, glistening mountain of flesh that is the bloom. The guards at the nearest orifice tell you the way to the Memovira's fortress, and after entering and traveling through the bloom's viscera and ventricles, you reach her gates. Her guards admit you without a word, and you are ushered into an antechamber and told to wait. From behind a door, you hear the voice of Paj Reckon, raised in frustration. If the Sorrow is strong enough to enter Mielavest, Paj is saying, then it's our primary enemy. We must either finish the Changing God quickly or unite with him to destroy it. A voice you recognize as the Memovira's answers. You have it reversed, sister. We will use the sorrow to destroy the Changing God. All we must do is turn it his way. Paj groans. Am I to take this message to the survivors? That they should let the monster which killed us walk free, hoping it might strike our enemy first? Why don't you tell them, sister? Why not reveal yourself at last? The door slides open and the Memovira enters. It isn't time. She cuts off as she sees you. Who is this? This might give us more dialogue options later. Paj enters the room behind her, then nods. Ah, Bericael, the loyal blade you asked me to send for. And it seems she has already learned your secret. The Memovira gives you a hard look. Then she had better be loyal. Introduce us. Bericael, says Paj, may I present the first, our brave leader. So brave she's hidden behind my skirts for over 100 years. Enough, Paj, snaps the first and looks you over. I asked Commander Reckon to bring me her best for the coming days. For in the coming days I will have need of an agent who will act without flinching, no matter what the order. Is that you, Bericael Brenna? Are you ready to do anything to stop the Changing God? You are a traitor to the castoffs! You must die! No, this is the past. Page Zerianth told me the sorrow did not break through the Milavest shields. He claimed the shields were lowered on purpose by you. Yes, I will do anything you ask. It will be an honor to serve you. I am honored to be chosen, but my loyalty is to the commander I have known all these years. I will do as Page orders. Oh my god. It's interesting, right? I mean, why go to the trouble of finding all that crap out if we don't use it here? Each one of these things, you know, just... There's a reversal, rules of storytelling, what have you. I feel like this is the path, right? Let's do it.
Making a note.
We are making a note, apparently. Ha! Says Page. He lies. Marilel sent me to await the arrival of the Changing God's last child. The sorrow did not attack the compound until I'd returned and reported. Page looks at the first, suspicion dawning. I told you the last child was in the compound, and then the sorrow attacked it. Sister, please tell me these two events are not related. Please. The child had to be killed, says the first. So this is something that happened quite recently. The child had to be killed, says the first. I knew of no better way to do it. Page stares at her. You let them die? Our siblings? Adiris? Not all, says the first. To save the vast majority of our siblings, I was forced to risk the deaths of the few at the compound. Ah, boy. Wasted, sputters Page. The child escaped. Yep, we did. It was worth the risk, says the first. It was worth the risk. Page buries her face in her hands. Perhaps, but... She looks up again. But you could have told me. You could have let me warn Adiris, others loyal to us. I could not, says the first. Anyone you warned might have warned the child. It was impossible. Then you could have ordered me to bring Adiris here, shouts Page. I didn't have to know why. Any pretense would have done. Instead, you allowed Adiris... Adiris was a mother to us all, interrupts the first. Too kind-hearted by far for the coming conflict. Page stares again. You let her die. Deliberately. Ooh. The first turns from Page. A leader's decisions are never easy. You should know that by now. She looks at you. So, Bericael, now you know all my secrets. Will you serve? Will you still serve? Or will you see our war for survival to its conclusion? Or will you turn from the inevitable out of foolish sentiment? Foolish sentiment, that's very important. Yes, I will do anything you ask. It will be an honor to serve you. I am honored to be chosen, but my loyalty is to the commander I have known all these years. I will do as Page orders. You are a traitor to the castoffs! You must die! Yeah, we're gonna do this. I think. Now, having come out now, it's now kind of, well, yeah, that makes more sense. The first looks from you to Page and back, thinking, then I shall have to trust that Page remains loyal to me, won't I? She turns to Page. General, what are your orders for your blade? Page faces you, squaring her shoulders. Bericael, protect the first, and follow her orders in all things. As of now, she is your commander, not I. The first welcomes you, a force like a fist. As the first welcomes you, a force like a fist starts to wrench you back to your own body. The last thing you hear is your new commander saying, "The last child is coming, Bericael. We must be prepared." Okay.
I'm ready to learn something new.
I wonder if I had attacked, if that would have whittled down the numbers that we'd have to face later. The report of all shifting gods, I have the fastest soon. Addendum. Okay. There's more. Is it in the journal? Yes. So, kind of good that we looked at this. It's time to return to her fortress and confront her. The first castoff was the one behind the destruction of Mila Vest. She dropped the shields in an attempt to kill me. I saw a memory when I found Massoff, a Gibra castoff named Tom. Told the changing god that both his plans and the first would destroy the castoffs. Yeah. My sire also said the resonance chamber could be used to weaken the sorrow, possibly enough to kill it. Okay. So yeah, that I think might change some of the options when we get into it. And we actually, unfortunately, the thing is, I didn't have a lot of time today. And so I actually am going to need to stop and resume next time. As we have this going on. Because they're bidding. We have this going on. When we get into this next, when we go through and do this again, there's a fight involving the sorrow that we're going to have to deal with. So I do not know what is going to happen. Eritis, however, is still alive, and that's very helpful. And we get to level up.
Yes.
So leveling up could help a lot right now also, which is, you know, kind of more of a big deal. We can increase our stat pools, we can increase our edge, or we can increase our effort. Our maximum effort is 6. Our edge is a discount. I think... Yeah, I think we're going to get the discount. For intellect, obviously. Because we are min-maxing. And there we go. Oh, that's that. Yeah, we're gonna need to... Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, going in there, I'll have, like... Yeah, the amount of time that I have... I'm just trying to decide here. If we're gonna go back in there and do all that. And try that fight again. Because time... Just trying to figure... I'm trying to calculate here based on, you know, how much time exactly do I have, really? It's a difference of like half an hour. It's a difference of like half an hour.
I should really get moving before someone tries to kill me.
What? Oh. Yes, I know. It happens a lot. I'm wondering about... Wondering about a few things. Should we try to absorb more XP? Or something? That's what I'm wondering. Should we just do this? Or does it have to be one-on-one? That's another question. Yeah, no, I think yeah, I'm still fine not doing that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save the game. I think I'm just gonna save the game so that next time when I come back to this, I can give the Memovira situation my full attention. Because there's potentially a lot about to happen. And I don't want to have to watch the clock while doing what is potentially a fight as big as it's going to get, with, you know, and also having to deal with spreading fire. That's a thing. Time! I can't spill it all out. That's okay. Alright, we're going to go back to the main menu here. Alright. Yeah, a little bit shorter today. Through what we had to do. Let me go ahead and do that, and there we go. Okay. Right. Well, thank you all very much for watching. This has been a slightly shorter bit of it, but I want to, I kind of want to pull back and focus a little bit when we're looking at all of that. So we will come back to this next week and see how it goes. Again, I might change the day up. We'll see. I might end up happening sooner. I don't know. Just getting through it would be nice. So what do we have happening? So I am going to, with any luck, provided everything is still working out okay. Theoretically, I should tonight be over on Wandering DM playing in their Cyberpunk Red game. Is just I'm on as a guest. I'm doing a guest spot that's lasting, I think, for only a couple of sessions. So I did one, and so I'm just finishing up tonight, I think. On Saturday night, we have back on this channel Invisible Sun, The Edge of Paradox, which I run. A lot of surreal awesomeness happening there. And then, let's see, what else happens here? This coming week, we get back around to Wednesday. Wednesday during the day, typically, is when I play City Skylines. I've also been doing it a lot on Sundays, just as an additional day. It'll probably happen also in the next coming days. I don't know. I do random gamery from time to time, so it's bound to happen. But Wednesday is when I have it scheduled for, so Wednesday morning, City Skylines. Wednesday evening, we have our game of Scum and Villainy, Untitled Space Game, which is a lot of fun. And then that brings us back around to Fridays and more of this. Provided the schedule stays the same, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, folks, that's about it. That's all I got. I gotta now go and take care of some things. Thank you all very much for watching. Take care. I will see you all of a sudden.